realizing like you had these gifts all along, you just never really knew how to explain it, but now you know the answers.
Accepting the fact that things happen and decided to not let every decision you make be like a outcome or from that mindset.
It's like you're suffering in the flesh, not the spirit. Because I feel like when you do die to your flesh, it can seem like you're suffering because it's like you're in a very uncomfortable season.
Hey y'all, welcome to BrighterGirlz Podcast. It's your host Brida, aka Miss Treasurer, and I have special guests here, the ladies on the podcast, and everybody's gonna introduce themselves. Hey y'all, I am Nairi. I could just say Nido, and I am BrighterDayz Vice President. Hey guys, Jakayla here. I'm the head of the mental health department. Okay.
Hey guys, my name is Jaya. I am the secretary for BrighterDayz.
Hey y'all, I'm Kosi. And my position that I hold, committee chair, sorry.
Hi guys. I'm Carla. I am BrighterDayz president.
Yeah, I'm about to say and the topic today we're gonna be talking about the Lord is weighing on us versus we're waiting on the Lord. Okay. And before we start the conversation, I have some icebreakers. I have 2 questions to ask everybody. I wrote it down. The first question is, what is one word you'll use to describe your relationship with God? One word. I could go. Mm-hmm. One word? Just one? Just one. I got 2 words. I don't know which one to pick. I'm gonna say roller coaster.
Okay,
Oh, you didn't say why? Why? Because I feel like there's the moments when you go up, you're on that high, and then there's moments where I just drop. There's moments when I'm like at a constant where it's like my other word was journey, but I feel like roller coaster describes it better because it's not. I don't know. When you think of a roller coaster, you think of loops and all that. It's just sometimes I'm doing good, sometimes I'm not, but I'm still on a roller coaster. I don't think it's ever gonna be a roller coaster where you're staying up in the air. Yeah. Who else want to go?
my word is evolving.
Like that.
Evolving.
I like that.
There's always room for growth, so you just
that.
have to remind yourself that there's never going to be a point where you're just good enough, because no one's ever going to be good enough for God's grace. So.
I like it. Anybody? I'm gonna just hand to you when you're ready. My word is test. Cause for me, I feel like in my journey with Christ, it's always God testing me in every season, and it's either He's testing my patience or endurance, or just Him testing me with trusting in Him fully. So it's always been like that. Since I really started my walk with Him, it's been like that.
That's that's interesting. I was gonna say enduring because I feel like in my walk I've had to endure a lot, and I'm still working on being content with being able to endure so much. So I'll just say enduring.
I don't really have like I don't really know like a word that really describes what exactly you're asking, but I guess one word is patient, and that's on both ends because first of all, God has been patient for the past 18 years of my life, and He waited for me. Well, yeah, 18 years of my life, and He waited for me to finally accept Him and fully submit to Him. But then again, me also, I've been patient in waiting for His timing and everything. It's been a slow process, and I didn't realize, well, it's been fast, but it's been slow, and I didn't realize like how quickly and slowly everything's coming together. Like even some prayers, I don't realize I'm living them right now, or it's getting ready to happen. It's just, we're both patient.
Y'all have some good words, like roller coaster was really good. That was really good. I don't have a word off right off the top of my head to describe my walk with Christ, well, my relationship with God. But the word that's sticking with me right now is striving, because ever since I've ever since I've given God that yes, I'm striving to be with Him. I'm striving to be holy. I'm striving to be different than I was yesterday, be different than I was 6 months ago. So I think just progressing and striving to be right where God is.
That's good. That's good. The second question is, what does it mean to be a follower of Christ? Like from your experience. Nah, let me get the words together. I know what I want to say. I just have to word it right. Say the question one more time. I'm sorry. What does it mean to be a follower of Christ? What does it mean to be a follower of Christ? Is this like a one word thing or am I explaining?
No, you can explain.
Okay. What does it mean to be a follower of Christ? I feel like it means, I'm gonna just throw a couple words first and then I'll elaborate. The first word is change, purpose, intentionality. I feel like what I'm learning is there's a version of myself that's always been there, but to have to like unravel that is hard. Like, cause you can try, but like if you don't accept the fact that there is another version of you, it's hard to work towards. You have to. Oh Lord, here I go, get on me, boy. But no, for real. Like I realized like, over the past day or so that you have to believe that there's a version of you that's nothing like what we are now. So once I get that down pat, it's like okay. But to be a follower of Christ is like literally dying to yourself, because the things that we've been taught since birth, growing up, is nothing like the will of God for real. Like the world is so corrupt. And I don't even say that to talk down on anybody because, like I said, roller coaster. Like there's times when I'm doing stuff I ain't got no business doing. But still, it's just like it's like a revamp, like a rebirth. That's good. Yeah. So to be a follower of Christ is really just relearning as if you're being born again. Yeah. Yeah, just relearning a whole nother way. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. You got it. Um, what it means to be a follower of Christ to me, like I said, having to die to your old identity and officially surrendering your full self to God and allowing Him, making room in your heart for Him to come in and change you and to take out anything, if that was like anything that's not of Him, but things that you were so stuck to that had a stronghold on you. So just having to fully surrender everything to Him and being willing to be obedient to His calling and um, no longer making decisions based on your own feelings, but knowing God's will for your, well, you can never truly know, but knowing what's right and what's wrong and asking God for discernment to know what's what's of Him and what's not. So just fully giving yourself to God, fully living by God, and will be willing to live by His word, and yeah, and to make that change within yourself.
It was two things. Then you brought it back up. The first thing was not living out of trauma or hurt, like accepting the fact that things happen and decided to not let every decision you make be like a outcome or from that mindset, from the hurt mindset. And then the other thing you said about your emotions, which I just heard this morning, and I was trying to tell y'all, but I said it wrong. It's not not moving based on your emotions. Like, despite how you feel, you still gotta pick up your cross. You still gotta read your Bible. Like, even if, like, cause I know this past couple weeks, I have not been wanting to read my Bible, and then I'm like, dang, I know, like, I want to, my spirit want to, but my body just won't. So it's like, despite that emotion, that feeling that I don't want to, you still have to, or you still need to. Yeah.
And then I was gonna say, because I was gonna piggyback off of you, but I feel like when you begin your walk with Christ, just get into the understanding that there is a problem. Because when you don't know, like when you get to that understanding that there is a problem, and then you figure out why, and then you make that change based on the word. I just feel like that starts the whole thing when you understand that there is an issue.
Yeah.
Because some people be so stubborn and they don't want to change themselves. But when you understand that there is a problem and what you're doing is not right, then it's just like that's what begins it.
Realizing that you gotta get to the root.
Yeah.
Like what
I feel like on the brighter side of that, just when you do begin your walk, just realizing like how much He was truly always with you. Like just realizing like you had these gifts all along, you just never really knew how to explain it, but now you know the answers. And like that's a whole new perspective on life, because like when you know the answers, you're like, oh, like yes, I was doing stuff wrong, but then again, I was also covered, and like it could have went way worse. And so just I feel like that gives you a new sense of just being so grateful. And I feel like I learned that from personal experience. Like I just look back and I'm like, oh, so that's what that was. And you just look at life like I'm just so happy to be here. Like I'm just so grateful that like even though I didn't know where this was coming from, I'm happy I had it.
Um, for me personally, well, y'all have already said like basically everything, so I'm just gonna try and pick up some stuff that I didn't hear. But just like renewing your mind, being in the Word daily, even doing like living like Jesus did, which is going out preaching the gospel, making disciples, leading people to Christ, and even doing things like intercessing or being an intercessor, standing in the gap for people, even for those who aren't saved, even for those who are saved, stand in the gap, being that line that draws them to Christ, and also being a servant, because I know the second commandment is to love your neighbor as you love yourself. And if we don't love others, then what are you doing as a Christian? But then another thing, I feel like the biggest thing, and I've been working on it a lot recently, but it's like pride, just understanding that, or you just got to be humble and realize that literally nothing is yours. Everything belongs to God, and for you to think that you're higher up than He is sin in itself.
What? For me, hold on, what was the question? Okay, what does it mean to be followers of Christ? In my experience, I think it's definitely be uncomfortable, and like sometimes it's just like God, like He tells you something, or like He speaks through people, or like or like through scripture or anything. It's just like sometimes just like you don't want to do it. You just like God, like that's not even me. Like why you chose me to do that, or like to like put me in that position to like do something like that. And it's like God just been telling me like why not you, you know? And it's just like I'm always used to like always be in the background and not actually like, because this is uncomfortable. And I feel like being uncomfortable, there's growth behind that. And then also just like it makes me want to see God more, because it's like He sees something better within me, within myself. What did I see in myself? So, and it also suffering, because like right now, I wouldn't say I'm like in a suffering season. I feel like I'm like in a season where I just have to be still and just like, okay, um, like I just have to be like still and not um, act on within my flesh or my feelings or emotions, even though like I don't see what's happening, but like I know that He's working. Um, but it's just like, yeah, dying to self. That's pretty much it. Y'all, what would be y'all definition to suffering? Because when people hear that word, it's so like
I know when I first heard it, I was like,
suffer.
I don't want to suffer.
but because I was thinking.
You thinking? Okay. What's up? You're about to talk to? Okay. Just by like the test that we get from God. I had it, but it went away.
Well, when I think of suffering, I don't know. I feel like it's like you're suffering in the flesh, not the spirit. Because I feel like when you do die to your flesh, it can seem like you're suffering because it's like you're in a very uncomfortable season. Like those is your the desires of your heart. That was you. So it's like I feel like you're suffering in the flesh, but I don't feel like you're suffering in the spirit. But the walk ain't peaches and cream. Like you know, on the outside looking in, you think, okay, people come to God, they're blessed, they're happy, but it's like you gotta work. I mean, faith without works is dead. You can't just be in the faith and think it's gonna be a clean slate.
Like you're literally
And like a easy walk, like literally fighting every day to maintain yourself in the spirit. So like I don't know, I think it's suffering in the flesh. Or you could be suffering in the spirit by wanting something that your heart desires, but God is not giving it to you when you want it, but when He wants it. So that could be that, but I don't think of walking suffering. I don't think you really suffer, but you do struggle.
Clock it.
No, for real. No, because like, like, like what? Like what?
That's good.
Like what?
You got it. You got it.
Even with what Jacayla said, it's like, because like I said earlier, living like Jesus did. Jesus, he suffered on earth so that he could ascend in heavens. And like, as we know, Jesus was 100% man and 100% God. And so him being beaten, him being spit on, pierced, put on the cross, everything, that was his fleshly body. But what was going on with him spiritually? He was in a covenant with God. He was making his way up to heaven. And so I feel like that translates into our life, because if we're supposed to be like him, we're being beaten. Well, it may not be like a literal beating, but it could be like mental or emotional. And he's putting us through all these things to see if we can really endure. And I feel like that's like what, I don't know who said it, but like a lot of the people who are in higher standing in like the community, um, they've been through things. There's been a lot of warfare going on. There's been a lot of attacks. There's a lot of people that begin to hate you because you love Christ. And I feel like, yeah, suffering's not the right word, but it's been enduring, because if you were suffering with the devil, but with Christ, you're not suffering. He's with you, so you're enduring.
That's good too. Like that.
All right, that was it with the icebreakers. We're gonna go into the topic. I don't know about y'all, but I'm still waiting on the Lord because it's okay. The topic is waiting on the Lord versus the Lord is waiting on us, and I don't know. Like I know, like everybody like had those moments that you just wait on God to like answer your prayer, or like um just something that you've been praying about or like you've been talking about. You're just like, God, like when is it gonna come? Like God, like have you left me? Like I've been just like praying on it, and it's still not happening. And it's just like sometimes, like for me, sometimes like I just get my feelings and I just want to give up because it's too much for me to handle. So like with y'all experience, like when it's like a time in your life where you just wait on God for something or like an answer or like whatever you was desiring in your heart, and you're just like, God, like why can't I have it now? Or like why is it not happening right now?
Um, well, this was recently. I found myself asking God that exact question. I'm like, because I felt stuck where I was because it wasn't. I wasn't moving forward. I wasn't moving backwards, but I was just still there, and nothing was going on. Like parts of my life where I wanted to start looking for a new job. I wanted to. I was struggling in one of my classes. And I wanted to move forward in content and still with do all that while still building my relationship with God. But I just couldn't find myself to do any of that. And so I was like, well, God, are you waiting on me or am I waiting on you? Because if you're waiting on me to make a move, then I'm holding myself back. I'm delaying myself of what you have for me. Or am I stuck in this place because you need me to be here to prepare me for where you need me to be? Maybe you just want me to be still and or yeah, maybe you just want me to be still or you're protecting me from something else that's the things that I want to go after. You're keeping me where I am right now, preparing me or preparing the areas that I want to go, like the place that I want to go, like content, like maybe you're not ready for, maybe you're waiting for something to come up so I can move forward in content, like topics wise. Maybe you want waiting something, waiting for something to come up so I can speak on it, or um, a new job that I want. Maybe my job needs me right now. Just I was trying to think about all of those things, but I wasn't getting nowhere. So I just kept talking to God, and I was being still. And I can't remember exactly how God brought me out of that with a victory, but He did. I should have brought my journal, but I came out of that funky feeling, and God kept reassuring me, and all within that, I was wanting to turn to God and talk to Him and everything. And I know some days were definitely harder than others. Like I was just so caught up in that funky feeling where I just wanted to lay around or not talk to anybody. And when God was started telling me like you can't, like faith without works is dead. So you want to hear from me, but you're not going in the secret place that we have. Like you have to meet me where I am. Just as I meet you where you are, you got to meet me as well. So just God brought me out of that by allowing me to by strengthening my self discipline in a way, and allowing me to use my circumstance. I think that's the right word. Using what I was dealing with to get me where He needed me to be. So yeah.
I don't really have an answer to that question because I'm trying to think like the way I am. Yeah, I don't give myself no grace. Like I need to work on that. And like um, there's certain things that I want, and I know I don't have them because I'm not like I don't want to say this and be wrong because it's all in God's timing. But I be feeling like I'm just not ready. Like I know I'm not ready. And in God's eyes, I might be, but to me, I know I could be further along than I am now. But what I wanted to say was, I don't know if it's a scripture or if I was just watching this podcast and they said it, but they said, as you closer to God, He's gonna draw near to you. He's gonna give you what He's gonna give you what you give Him. So like if you feel like what's the topic? Am I is so Lord, are you waiting on me or am I waiting on you? Lord, am I waiting on you? Wait, it's backwards in my mind. Lord, are you waiting on me or am I waiting on you? See me, I'm trying to get back into my content, but I feel like I'm stagnant because I feel like I'm waiting on the Lord. But like y'all, the Lord, y'all gonna meet Jeremiah eventually. But every time I bring it up, he'd be like, just do it. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what do you mean just like I'm sitting here trying to plan out, not even plan out videos, just like which way I want to go. Because I'm a vlogger, y'all. The sit down videos, they're not for me, but I feel like I'm gonna have to do that. And I feel like I'm fighting it. So that's how I be knowing, like, I'm gonna just say this. You'll know if God is waiting on you or if you're waiting on Him. Because if you feel like you've done all you can, then you know you're waiting on Him. But if not, He's waiting on you. And I know He's waiting on me right now. I just gotta get through it. Nobody?
Um, a time where I was no, yeah, a time where I was waiting on the Lord. Like when I was making that transition from like being in the world to coming to Christ, I was going through a lot. Like my mental was bad. I was walking around with a heavy heart every day, just in my head. But it's like I was waiting on the Lord to bring me out of the storm. Like I was growing to Him and I was seeking Him, praying, reading my word, doing what you can do, in a season like that. And I was just waiting on him to take me up out of it because I knew he was going to. So I was just having faith that he was gonna do that, but I was waiting on him because I was hurting, but I knew I was gonna be all right.
And as I said, if you know you can do
Yeah,
everything,
yeah,
obviously.
yeah. And it's like you can't, and sometimes you can't help your circumstances. So it's like, yeah. So yeah, if anybody in that season, just stick with it. Be intentional because I was being very intentional. I was trying, and I was just waiting on him to bless me and heal me. But that's when I was, yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
You wanna go? Okay. For me, um, hmm, I feel like right now, I feel like I'm waiting on him, but it's like I don't really know because I feel like he's probably waiting on me. Cause okay, the thing with me, right? Um, like I love to see people grow, right? I love to like pour into people, but then sometimes I forget about Brida, right? I forget about just like pouring into myself, taking care of myself, because it's just like how my heart is. I'm just like it's just it's like me being selfish. I wasn't raised like that, or like even like me like as a person, I just want people to see people like better, to see people happy, and then like I forget about like myself, and I think God has been telling me lately to like just stop what you're doing and just take care of yourself, pour into yourself, and like I feel like recently I have been doing that, and I don't feel as stuck as I was a couple of days ago or yesterday, because during the prayer call yesterday we had a prayer call, and one of our members he was telling us like his experience of being stuck, or um he felt like he was like stagnant in his walk, and it's just like when he was speaking, like it helped me as well, like it kind of answered my prayer, because just like I know I'm not doing nothing wrong, it's just like I can fix it, like this is like an easy fix, and like I've been giving myself more grace lately, because normally I don't give myself grace, I beat myself up, and like it affected me with others as well, because I want to give others grace, because like I wasn't taught to give people grace. It's just like get it right, or like you'll never get it right. So yeah. You know, you saying that, it's not crazy, but you saying that you not giving yourself grace made it hard for you to give others grace. I just realized that when you saying that. Really? Like I never realized the fact that I was like I don't give myself grace. It explains why I don't give other people grace. Mm-hmm. Because I'm so hard on myself. What makes you think I'm not gonna be hard on you? Right, right. Because remember when you just like Brida, like get it together, and I'm just like what do you mean? Because like I wasn't taught how to give you grace, so now I'm learning. I'm like, okay, so it's okay, like like you're human. That's crazy.
Cause I be beating myself up.
What?
Like, why would you do that?
Like
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I've heard that before, but it's never clicked.
Yeah.
It's never clicked. Like especially like when you want yourself to get it right instantly, you want other people to get it right instantly, and that's not how that works.
I was just like that. Literally. Because you know me a month ago, like.
Because like we human, so like it's gonna be a process. People ain't gonna change overnight. So it's like
that's why I always think about like it's everybody's first time living.
yeah.
It's everybody's first time doing this.
We all trying to figure it out.
Literally for real.
Anything about it like that, it makes it easier. Made me
Feel bad.
It's like, and then when you have, but I feel like when you have grace for people, you also understand people. Cause like when I see other people, they doing worldly things. That was just that's not too long ago. So that's why I don't expect people to straighten up right then, cause I won't get in it. You don't expect people to get it if they not in a position to get it. You feel me? Like you have to have an encounter with God. That's good. But I was gonna say, I feel like you could be waiting on the Lord in a lot of things though. I feel like um you could be waiting on him to set somebody else free. Like you could be praying for somebody else. You can be waiting on him to do that, but he will be waiting on you to come to him and pray for them and on their behalf too. Like dang, it was something in my mind and I forgot because I got on the topic of grace. It was something I was gonna say. It'll come back to me, but I was just gonna say that, but it'll come back.
All right. Uh, what was I gonna say? What were we talking about? We was talking about the Lord waiting on us. Oh, because the Lord waiting on us. Because I was talking about the Lord when like we wait on the Lord.
I thought we each.
Good now.
I thought we did. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, in a different way.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the Lord?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
Okay.
We wait on the Lord to make it. Yeah. Yeah, we talked about it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just the question is so like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like on the opposite side of like waiting, like when your wait is super short and it happens instantly, like you just feel like she might have said something good. You just feel like you start second guessing like yourself and like God gives you discernment, but like when stuff happens instantly, it's hard to accept it. Like I feel like the waiting season is good because when stuff happens instantly, you're like, dang, I really gotta do this. I really gotta change now. Like I really gotta get ready. Like I wasn't ready. I didn't want it right now. Like I wanted to wait, but like sometimes God gives you instant. That's good. I got some. Wait, back up.
what did you say?
When
You said when the sorry, I just cut you off. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
what did I say when?
What you started to say, like the first part of what you said.
Oh, when like when God gives you stuff instantly.
Okay, that brought it back. When the wait is short, no, when the wait is long, I feel like that's when you can really be like, yeah, that's from God. Yeah, because
time to process.
when it's because like when it's so long, it's like dang, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and then it happened. It's like, why now?
Right.
Like, what made now right? Wait, don't forget.
So because like when the wait is long, it's like like from my experience, it's like I have the time to like get myself together as well. But like it depends on like what you're waiting on. But no, I was gonna say something. We was talking. No. Okay, who else wanna go? Cause like Michaela. You forgot?
No, I didn't forget it because it's not the same as what you said. It's like I feel differently about that. When I feel like when the wait is short, that's when I know it's from God. Because if I just prayed for it and then it popped up in my face,
Yeah.
But then it really depends on what. Because what I'm thinking about.
it's God will bless you when you don't want it. That's
Yeah.
just that. That's just that. If you want it real bad, He probably won't even bless you with it when you really want it.
No, because when you want it so bad, he makes you wait longer.
That's what I'm
And like it just be like that's not fair. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Don't do that. Don't talk about TV.
And also, I hope this tie in together with the topic, but you know how when you want something really bad, wait, let me make sure I got it together. You know how when you get things in a hurry, it could be from the enemy. So if you've been wanting something for a long time and it just pop up in your face, sometimes that might be from the enemy. Sometimes God wants you to wait a little longer for the blessing. And me, I would want to wait a long time, but I know that my flesh, if it just pop up, I'm gonna think this is from God.
And the devil knows
Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, I think,
Yeah.
You're about to say.
I was, but I don't know how this. Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, I feel like when it's shorter and it's quicker and it's just instant, I feel like that's
I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I feel.
yeah.
You could be waiting for a job. You could be waiting for a relationship.
Yeah.
You could be waiting for someone's life to change. Like it
Yeah.
depends on what it is.
That's a good one.
Change.
No, cause like y'all, that's different. That's different.
That's when I was like, that's why I feel like you could be waiting on the Lord to change somebody else's life, but boy, that wait be long.
Like it be.
And it's like you can't focus on that, like.
And then you lose yourself in the thought of them getting better. And if you see nothing, it's just like now you gotta remove yourself because you can't get so stuck on their walk. That I want to happen. It's what God wants.
In God's time.
When someone else life is changing, I feel like, dang y'all. No, when someone else life is I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel that. But dang, what was it? What was it? I forgot. Oh, I feel like you should know already that when God is changing someone else's life, it's not the wait is gonna be long. Like if it's short, is it really? That mean they like. I feel like if I'm praying for anyone's life to be changed, I don't want it to be changed. I mean, of course, that's ideally you want it to be changed overnight. But if it really happens overnight, it could.
Not
But
what the Lord can do.
right, it could. But my thing is, if it does, then like, are they doing that for to make you feel yeah. That's why when I be praying for people's lives to be changed, I do it by myself or like without them there.
Yeah,
that's how you know. But let me not say if it's quick because he's done it overnight.
He did.
But still,
That's good.
Like I remember a time when I was when God put me in like an isolation season, and like I was praying for everybody, and it was just I didn't know what God was doing in their lives, but like shortly after, like when I found out everybody was like trying to grow with Christ, it just made me like, what? That's so crazy. It's like God, you really heard my prayers, even though like I thought like it couldn't be possible because it's just like it's only my prayers, so it's just like prayer is powerful.
that's another thing. This not. Oh Lord, please don't get us off topic. but you said even though you thought like this ain't gonna, it's just whatever. I'm just praying it just cause. But that's when having the faith the size of a mustard seed. Like it don't take much. You just have to be willing.
Right.
You really just have to be willing. Like that one little drop of water can take you so far. And I can say that's happened to me. Like you're like the struggle boy. And it's like you just know, like, not too long ago when we was talking about the power of confession, like I was just praying, like, the enemy would try to get in my head, like just trying to downplay God, like, oh no, that ain't real, that ain't. But then I was like, God, just put it in my face, and He put it in my face, boy. Brida, you remember I told you? I said, Brida, it's just been in my face. There is no denying it. So every time I would get a thought, because the devil like to put up my mind, y'all. That's my battle. I don't know what y'all is, but he know to mess with my mind. And when I told you, I was like, it's just in my face. Like no matter what I think, no matter what it don't even matter what I think. Literally. It really don't matter because it's in my face. But yeah, let's get back to what you talking about. I don't want to get off that. We were just talking about waiting, because it started when we were saying when we would pray for other people's lives to change, and then the process for waiting on their behalf.
Right. Or like when like you pray for somebody, but then you ask God to like send people to help them, and then like now you see the progression, and it's just like wow, like God, like okay, I like this. That's good. And I feel like when you wait longer in that aspect, like on other people's behalf, when you wait longer, it hits you so much harder when it do happen.
Yeah, because it's like
It's like I've been praying for you.
Praying for you.
I'm talking about crying in my closet.
I'm crying in my bed.
That's what I'm saying. Like it hits you so much harder when it's a long wait and you know you've been praying every day. It hits you crazy. That's pretty much it though.
that was great.
Yeah.
Let me go it down.
Hey, Coach, did you have anything to say on the topic of waiting? Okay.
You were like, you're praying for people. I mean, I've never been on that side, but I know, like, I've been on the other end where it was my sister. She was praying for me. She was interceding for me. And then one night, she invited me to church. And ever since that night, my life has never been the same. So it's just like thinking about people who care about you and want to see you succeed. And then their prayers answered, but now, you're there. You can now go out and intercede on someone else's behalf. So, like, I know my sister, she interceded for me. She's not really close to my brother, but my goal is to get my brother. So it's like God draws one person to go get other people because certain people, everybody, that's why it's like everybody's important. Everybody has a purpose on this earth because certain people can't reach a certain crowd. Or like if you may have like a friend and you can't save your friend, but your other friend might be that person's key to finding Christ, or someone that they meet because you prayed might be the reason that they found Christ, because we can't save everybody, but he has somebody that can save them.
Yes. That was good.
And something I noticed or I heard was that it was in conversation room. Pastor Saul, he was like, no one is ever gonna change till they get that personal encounter. Or like that personal revelation. Not even encounter, just revelation for real. Like they have to see it for themselves. Yeah. That's good.
Oh, Jill's gonna say something.
Oh, my bad.
That it made me think about like who was interceding for us.
Right.
I be thinking about that. Like who was praying for me? Because I don't know, but I know King was praying for all of us. I know that.
That was the first person who came to my
Yeah.
and I know my mom was praying hard.
Yeah.
Like y'all, my grandma, I got on a prayer call with her and her sister, which is my great aunt. My bad, I keep doing that. And this was like when we first started. Not us, but like it was fresh. I think it was over the summer, if I'm not mistaken. And she just started praying for everybody, like one person at a time. And I'm like, how long has she been praying? And then in her prayer, she was praying for me, and she was like, thank you, Lord. Like she's the one that's gonna change generations. Like that's gonna be the first to change her siblings, the cousins. And I just was crying. Like I didn't even know I was an answered prayer from my grandma, but it is. And that's so crazy. Like to see your family background and to see where you are, even though it might not be nothing alike, you could literally be a generational breaker, curse breaker. and it's just so crazy. But yeah, I don't want to cry. This is like a random question. But like, do y'all think God chose y'all and y'all families to break the generation curses?
Yeah, I do. I do. Because out of all me and my siblings, I think I'm still the only one who's like deep in their walks right now. I'm not as close with my oldest brother as I am with my other two siblings, but I see what God has done and how God made me have some uncomfortable conversations with him from time to time. Like one night, my sister called me, and she was breaking down, and yeah, I was breaking down too, but I was trying to be strong for her, and I like just that was an encounter with my sister that I never had before because we always had like a love hate relationship. So like that was God, honestly. And recently I had a conversation with my youngest brother. Um, we was talking about a concert, like a Rod Wave concert, and me and him both went last year, but he went to a different one. But we was talking about that, and we were talking about the one for this year, and I didn't want to have a I didn't want to have that conversation with him, like, how I feel about going to the Rod Wave concert now versus how he feels. And I still haven't had that conversation. Like, it was kind of like I feel like God would have been tugging on me more if it was he wanted me to have that talk right then. But I feel like it's coming. But um, I kind of, sometimes you be in those uncomfortable positions and you don't know whether you need to jump in right now or just wait on God. And at that time, I feel like I need to wait on Him. But I feel like those conversations is gonna be what truly, how God truly works in our family. Like, because it definitely be conversations with me and my siblings. But I be getting off topic, y'all. I'm sorry. But yeah, I feel like I would. God, I'm definitely that one. Yeah, I be getting off.
I feel like my parents have already broken some of the cycles that they had, but I feel like my job is to now deepen everyone's faith. Because, I mean, like, I was texting my family group chat, and um, it was last semester when we had made prayer boards. I sent them a picture. I was like, "Oh, I made a prayer board," and then that allowed them to go and make their own prayer boards. And um, I had texted the group chat about me getting baptized, and then the weekend I was supposed to get baptized, my uncle got baptized. So I just feel like my parents have already, started breaking the cycles. My job is to bring everyone back to God. Because, like, my family believes, but, you can believe and still be worldly.
Yeah.
So I think my job is to deepen everyone's faith in their walks.
I still feel like that's a curse.
Yeah.
I still feel like that's a curse breaker.
I agree with what you said. Like with my mom, she's a believer, but it could always be deeper. And I feel like me and her, especially since my walk has officially started, we have those conversations, and I see like we God allows me to dig deep into why she felt the way she felt, why she disciplined me the way she disciplined me, like stuff like that. But I feel like what God is doing in my life is encouraging her in a way. Yeah.
I feel like I am. Yeah. Well, yeah, I feel like I am. Nobody in we don't. No, my mama, she believe, but it ain't deep. It ain't deep. It ain't deep. I ain't never seen my mama pray. my mama don't be praying. And then my brother, y'all know what that is. I'm about to say, and then yeah, but I thank my grandma for planting that seed because she's why I believed in the first place. But and then but you because you know how she is. But um I do believe I'm that one like over summer. Like I would be praying in the bathroom. Like that's my mama walked in on me and she was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm praying." And then she just leave me to it. And then like that's the first time she ever seen me like talk about God. And then I was on Bible study every Monday. So like I feel like that's cool. And then we had like a conversation over summer. She was asking me about it and then how deep it was and just asking me questions. But I like that she's asking me questions. My brother's asking me questions too. Like I like that they become curious. It leaves room for seeds. So yeah. So I think I'm that
I would say generational curse breaker. Yeah. Um, my grandma definitely. My family, they're believers, but everybody do their own thing at the end of the day. But they're definitely believers. Like I know my great grandma. Yeah, my grandma. Yeah. Um, but like immediate family, like my mom, my siblings, and then only other person would be my grandma. But yeah, like my sister and my mom, like here and there when we talk, it be more. We talk about God a little bit more, and I like that. But like I don't know, recently I just feel like I hear my mom say it more. Like earlier, she wants to buy a house, and she was talking about it, and she was like, she don't want to just move cities just to rush into it because she could either move and have more of a budget, or she could stay where she at, and it'll be less. So she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna just pray to God and ask him what He want me to do." And I was like it's different hearing my mom say it. Like I know, like I've had conversations with her, not nothing crazy or like deep, but she be like, yeah, she'll cry, she'll pray, and it's just like it's different seeing for one people older than you doing it, but your mom, like yeah, I just know. I'm just praying that like I pray that my family becomes one in Christ, like everybody, each of them. And I be thinking like where everybody at, like how everybody life is now, like my siblings, and I'm like, you're never too far. You're never too far, because I've seen lives change. Videos on Instagram. I've seen our lives change. Like everybody's story is different, and God can really use anybody. Yeah.
Um, I think I am. Uh, in my household, yes, we're Christian. We're believers. I've seen God like move through my parents, my siblings. But I think the way God like um works with me and like moves through me is different how He moves through like my family. So like it's like over the summer, like it was real hard for me because like for them it's like they never seen me like actually like want to pursue God more and like have that relationship with Him and like trusting in God like fully and like um basically like me telling them this is what God wants me to do. It was just like no, this is not how our God works. So it's just like God works through everybody differently. But like I'm glad that I just stuck to like what God told me in the first place because it could have ruined everything. But like yeah.
Like, I wanted a job so bad, y'all. Like, and I know to my mom and my sister, it looked like they would tell me it's like they would be like, "You're not even trying." Like whole time, I'm trying, but I just knew God didn't want me working, so it's like I'm trying, like I'm applying everywhere, and nothing's happening. And like I was getting sad because I'm like, dang, they probably think like I really just don't care. Like I'm okay with being where I'm at. Whole time I wasn't, but I knew that wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. So my thing was I was just like, Lord, just get me through the summer. Like and just let them see that over the summer, that whole time where they kept saying, I'm not trying for real, or I don't really care, or like it just seems like I'm not serious. But I was serious, just not about the job. Yeah, yeah.
I like that you said that how God works with everyone in different ways because like with me and my mom, I think I'm a speaker. Like, with content and everything. God works through me by speaking in a way, and I know that once I get into my career, He might have me touch others through that way. But I think I'm a speaker. But with my mom, she's a CNA, and God works through her about helping people, taking care of her patients and everything. And she definitely not a talker, and so um, that just made me think of like how you could probably see somebody else, another believer, or just a random person, and you probably think, I'm sorry. That's just somebody. It's so bright. It's so bright. It's so bright. I wish y'all could see it. Like it's so big. It's so big and bright. It just caught my attention. Lord, please forgive me. But yes, I'm sorry, Lord. But yes, God can work. You know how you can just see a random person and you just probably thinking like how I wonder how God is working. How God works through them and how's they a vessel through God, and just I like learning about how God touches us in different ways, like content or like speaking, a bunch of different work, a bunch of different things. But I like to say that. Okay.
I was gonna piggyback off of the speaking, especially when like you go home, like if we talk about family and they see you opening up and talking about things you would have never talked about from the get go, like it makes them open up and be comfortable to talk. Yeah, I was just gonna say yeah, yeah, and yes, mhm, yeah, like it leaves room for understanding and getting a glimpse if you're not well grounded in the faith, getting a glimpse of what an actual walk look like, a real walk. You feel me? No, not dimming down anybody's walk. You feel yeah, but yeah, being open and yeah, just
It don't
opening up
even
your heart.
really have to be a conversation. Like, it could be little things. Like, for me, my facial expressions, like, they're getting there. It'd be little things. Even my parents say, like, oh, you seem so happy. I'm like, I've always been happy. It's just my face, it didn't catch up to where I was. Yeah. It didn't.
I said I said when you start talking and opening up.
Hmm. Good. Y'all, even though we gotta get up out of here. Okay. Um, I was never. I'm still working on it, but I've never been the type to talk about how I was feeling, or like just where I'm at. Like, will be on my mind because of. I'm not blaming my family in this, so if y'all watching, please don't. But no, but for real, like growing up, I did feel like I would just keep my mouth closed. And I'm not saying it's because of them, but I would just be like, don't nobody care about what I gotta say. Like it's always like she the youngest, who she don't know nothing. But I'm starting to learn that me opening up could, like, someone else can see that and then be like, okay, now I can. So that's why I'm trying to just like be obedient in a sense, like do things that I'm uncomfortable with because you never know who's watching. And I've learned that because I've heard of people wanting to talk to me or just watching me. The whole time I'm like, I don't even know you for real. Like, and you be watching me, like, you never know who's watching. So, your testimony can really be like, yeah, it could be a gate for someone else.
Like your testimony can lead to somebody's deliverance.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's too bad.
Lord forgive us.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all. That's the end of the podcast. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. I hope that it spoke to you in a way. And we'll be posting every Friday. And also follow our Instagram, BrighterDayz Podcast. And then also we have a GroupMe, but that'll be in the description below. And everything is in the description below. But we love y'all. See y'all later. And Miss Treasure is out. Bye. Y'all be easy.